Hey guys, welcome back to another quick form video. So in today's video, we actually have a little bit different video. We're going to be talking about Visible versus Verizon Prepaid. I know I really don't make these kind of videos, but I do make some of these, and it's prepaid related, and this is what the channel really revolves around. But this is a really good article, so I want to share it with you guys. It's brought to you by AndroidCentral.com, so check them out. I will have a link to this article in the description below. Just so much good information here that it'd be kind of hard for me to make something this intricate. So let's go ahead and check it out. Like I say, it's gonna be a long one, but it's gonna be an informative video. So it says Visible versus Verizon Wireless. Which carrier should you get? Good question. I don't know if you guys know, but I've actually tried both these networks. I actually have a video on Visible, and that video was actually made before they removed the data cap speed limit. So that's a little something. It's a little different, but let's go ahead and check it out. So Visible, of course, is on the left, and then Verizon's on the right. And remember, this is Verizon Prepaid, not the full postpaid network. So it says Visible has an impressive set of features, especially considering the price, which I don't know if you guys know, but it's $40 and you get truly unlimited data. That's what they advertise. With one of the largest LTE networks combined with an unlimited package, including hotspot connectivity, Visible is about as close as it comes to hassle-free wireless. Now let's look on the other hand with Verizon. It says one of the strongest and most consistent network available. That is true here in the United States. I don't know if you don't live here in the United States, Verizon is the biggest network. They're the big dog that everybody else is trying to compete with. But Verizon Wireless continues to set the bar in wireless service with some of the fastest speeds and massive LTE network with 3G and roaming filled in many gaps. It's one of the best wireless experiences available. That's true. So as you can see, Visible starts, really they only have one price point. That's $40 a month. Versus Verizon, it starts at $35 a month. That's not, of course, unlimited, but that's their starting price. Pros of Visible are no contracts, unlimited talk and text, unlimited LTE data, unlimited hotspot. That's actually capped at 5 megabits per second. Versus on Verizon Prepaid, I'll just call it Verizon. The most coverage, more coverage, faster speeds, and larger phone selection. The cons from Visible, we would say, is fewer phones, no 3G or roaming access. So you might be saying, well, 3G, nobody really uses that, but in some rural areas, 3G is still a thing, guys. And then on Verizon, it says more expensive for one line. That's true. Contract required if you're doing the postpaid, and then credit check required. Same thing if you're doing postpaid. Says most people would prefer a cheaper and simple cell phone plan over trying to guess how much data and how many minutes they'll need over the next few months, while Verizon Wireless offers a large array of plans, making it possible to find something that fits everyone's needs precisely. Visible approaches to give you everything means that you will never have to wonder if you have enough data or minutes. So Visible just came out, hey, it's $40, we'll give you unlimited everything. You never have to worry about counting your minutes or your data. That's something a lot of people like. It says you'll just have to think a bit more about whether you will have coverage. So mostly the same network. So let's be clear. Verizon Wireless postpaid customers will often have a larger and more consistent network than thanks to prioritization. This means your speeds will be slightly slower on Visible, but at an estimated 5 to 12 megabits per second. Now, like I said, on my speed test, guys, I was lucky if I got 5 megabits per second here in my area, and this is a good Verizon area where on Verizon postpaid, I never have issues with it at all, or even like on Sprint or anything like that. So I was surprised that on Visible remember this is before that they took off the caps. I was lucky if I got 1 megabit per second down. So that's something you have to account. Like I said, that's my personal experience now. It says Verizon's network will be notably larger if you stray away from more popular areas. So this is another thing. I don't know if you guys know, but of course everybody here in the US knows, but Verizon's really good everywhere, really in the United States, except for some parts on the West Coast, I would say, but mainly everywhere here on the East Coast, it's very good. A lot of carriers like Sprint, T-Mobile, those are a little bit smaller carriers. Well, T-Mobile's pretty big, and then Sprint might go under, but you know what I mean. They're the smaller of the four really major ones, and they're really good in cities. But then once you stray away, like into rural America, that's where people have issues. But it says Verizon's network will be notably larger if you stay away from that. Says this is thanks to Verizon customers getting access to not only Verizon's older 3G towers but also LTE roaming towers. Verizon phones will connect the LTE if at all possible, but if there is no signal available, they'll fall back into the other networks. Visible uses LTE exclusively, and while the coverage is getting closer at all the time to what Verizon has, the LTE network is still a bit smaller. Most people will find this to be an easy trade-off, considering that most people are still covered on Visible, and Visible will let them use so much more of the network for less. That is true, guys. If you're thinking about it, what carrier for one line only gives you unlimited data, talk, text for only $40? That's Visible's pretty amazing at that. Here's some of the network stuff. Visible versus Verizon Wireless. They're both on Verizon LTE. Verizon Wireless, of course, you get the 3G roaming, so you get no roaming at all on Visible. Verizon, yes. Credit check, no. Verizon, yes. International roaming, no. And then, of course, Verizon does have a plan that's available. International calling, that's another thing. A lot of people like calling overseas. Visible does not have that plan, versus Verizon does have that plan. Data plans, unlimited only on Visible, which everybody wants. Verizon Wireless, it starts at $35 a month. Unlimited plan, $40 a month, versus Verizon $70 a month, guys. So that's $30 more, and you know, $30 a month can save you a lot of money. So think about that. And then, of course, here are some, Visible promotions that they have. It says get a Moto G7 Power for only $99 when you sign up to Visible. $40 a month plan, unlimited plan, now with uncapped speed. So remember, like I said, the video that I had was before they uncapped the speeds. So, but it's pretty cool. I might have to try it again and see how that goes. It says, let's talk about 3G and roaming. So this is, you're going overseas or anything like that. Visible uses the LTE network, or Visible uses the Verizon LTE network for service and nothing else. This isn't much of an issue for most people in the United States, but can become apparent when you travel. Verizon LTE network is focused on providing coverage where most people live and work, and for the most part it's successful. That is true, guys. Like I said, a lot of carriers do this. They really focus mainly where people live and work, so in big cities. But if you stay, very rural America, where, they have a lot of farmlands and stuff like that, a lot of carriers don't go out there. Mainly carriers that focus on rural America I would say is Verizon, US Cellular, and AT&T sometimes, but not really. There are a few gaps, and Verizon fills those by either relying on its older 3G network, which, in the talks, I believe they're getting rid of 3G network now that 5G is coming out, so that's something. Or buying data from other providers for roaming. Visible doesn't get access to 3G or roaming networks. Wow. Here's a map, and this was taken in August 2019, so shout out to them. As you can see here, it's not covered at all. So all this white area, what's that? Miami, it looks like. At least that's what it says. You won't get coverage at all. You're actually 3G roaming there. So wow. And of course Verizon does have that. So now before we get to the second part of this video, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Honey. So Honey is a free web browser extension that will find you the best promo codes on popular shopping websites like Amazon, Boost Mobile, Best Buy, and many more. Get it today at joinhoney.com/ref/dragonic. To save it even more. All that will be in the description below, guys. You click that link and I will get a small commission when you make your first purchase once you sign up and download and all that cool stuff. So shout outs to them for supporting the channel. So now let's get to the second part of this video. Do you need an unlimited plan? Of course I do. Who doesn't? Now let's get to it. It says probably not. Unlimited services mostly exist to offer peace of mind, so people don't need to think about how many bytes or messages they send. With Visible, unlimited is the only option. Visible's unlimited plan can become an afterthought, and you can use your phone to stream or browse without thinking about the cost. Verizon offers unlimited plans as well, starting at $70 per month for one line. It's worth noting that if you plan to have multiple lines, the price per line will come down. The price per line for entry-level unlimited service is $70, $60, $45, and $35 for one. 2, 3, and 4 lines. So one line is 72 lines is 60, 3 lines is 45, and for 4 lines it's $35, which is amazing. So on postpaid Verizon, if you go ahead and do a lot of lines, 4 lines at least, I mean, technically you can get unlimited for $35, but then of course they have access fees, which are $20 and all that stuff, but that's for another video. It says Verizon's most expensive plans offer features such as Apple Music, HD streaming, 5G support, and premium LTE data. The so-called premium LTE data is the same as normal LTE data, except that it is prioritized during times of congestion. This will also be faster than Visible, but probably not significantly so. It's nice to have it, but not really missed if you don't. It says, besides that, Verizon has shared data plans starting at $35 per month for 2 gigs of premium LTE data, $50 for 4, $70 for 8, and strangely $40 for 5 gigs if you scroll over. Wow. Even cheaper plans are available without data, but I can't recommend the plan without data on a smartphone. That is true. So last thing, I'm pretty sure it says, what if you have other devices? So this is true. You know, here as a review channel, I get lots of phones and I want to put them on different service providers, but Visible doesn't let you do all that. So it says Verizon offers hotspot service with its most expensive unlimited plan starting at 15 gigs of premium LTE data on both the Play More and Do More data unlimited plans, and moving up to 30 gigs of Get More unlimited plan. This will be more than enough for most users, but could be issued with a lot of streaming video. It's worth noting that 5G connections will get a fully unlimited hotspot, but that requires both a 5G device and 5G coverage, which is in the infancy. So pretty cool. Visible, on the other hand, continues to trend of simplicity, and other unlimited hotspot data at a speed of 5 megabits per second. So Visible actually gives you unlimited hotspot, but it is capped at 5 megabits per second. That should be enough to speed for 480p and some 720 video streaming depending on the site. This is a good enough solution for most people that need to share internet on the go. And then we're talking about which phones. So this is what phones work. Both Visible and Verizon are more than happy to sell or finance a phone for you. Verizon does have a stronger offering of phones, but Visible growing collection has something that will work for most people. If you already have a device and you want to know if it's supported, you'll need to use the BYOD compatibility tool on both Visible and Verizon. Support on one doesn't necessarily mean it will work on the other, even though the Verizon network is used on both. So Visible network is all digital, which means that all your calls and Visible will use VoLTE. VoLTE is still a little new for carriers in general. So for now, extra care is being taken care to make sure devices work flawlessly. This list of supported phones is expanding all the time, so we'll need to check for phones and Visible's help page. And then of course it has some, so it says currently all iPhones after the iPhone 6 are supported on Visible. Samsung's after the S9 series, Pixel 3 series, G7 Power, and Motorola. Then of course Visible's R2 CT. And then of course it'll say which should you get. To finish this off, guys, it really depends on what you need it for. I personally have a big family, so I'd probably go with Verizon, just because for 4 lines you can get down to $35 a month, but Visible for 1 line is probably the best for me, or for even you if you just have 1 line or even 2 lines. So I think this question, I'll leave it up to you guys. So thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Hopefully I didn't make this video too long. Like I said, shout outs to AndroidCentral.com. We'll have this linked in the description below so you can check them out. But hopefully you liked it. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you.